So, welcome everyone. It's time to get started with this afternoon very interesting webinar. I'm very pleased to welcome all of you to this webinar on climate smart agriculture in California. My name is Lise Valborg and I'm the CEO of Food Nation. And I've been looking very much forward to welcome all of you to this afternoon in Denmark. But we're happy to have people from different parts of the world. And I'm really pleased to be able to welcome you all to this webinar that we have developed and are hosting in a very close collaboration with the Trade Council in the United States of America and Ramboll. And I'm also very pleased that the program of today, we have a really special opening speech from the ambassador of Denmark to the United States of America, Mr. Jesper Møller Sørensen. So it's a great honor that we have this opportunity. Also, we have very special speakers from Ramboll, Mr. Juan Arguelles Ortiz, Senior Consultant and ESG Sustainability Officer at Ramboll. And also we have Anna Trillingsgaard, Commercial Advisor from the Food and Agriculture team at the Embassy of Denmark in Washington, D.C. So these are the people that you will meet during today's seminar. And of course, all of you. And I will invite all of you to use the chat function while you are here. You are more than welcome to ask questions along the way and to get the best possible technical experience. I will also advise you to turn off your mic and maybe sometimes also turn off your camera. It depends on your connection, as you probably know. I will also let you know that we are recording this webinar, and I hope you are all fine by that. We will share the recorded version afterwards, and we will also share the slides from the presentation. So with this in mind, I will invite all of you to say hi in the chat, just with your name, your company and organization maybe, just a quick message, who are we in this meeting? And then I will take you through the agenda, take a closer look at what are we going to touch upon during today's seminar. So after the opening speech from the ambassador, we will try to answer 3 questions. So the first question is, what image do decision makers in the United States have of Denmark as an agriculture and food nation? I will do my best to answer this question with the set off in the Food Nation image analysis from 2023. Then we will have Mr. Juan Arguelles Ortiz from Ramboll answering the question on which Danish strengths can be leveraged and utilized very specifically to meet the demand of climate smart agriculture in California. And last but not least, of course, we will have Anna Trillingsgaard, who will answer the question to how you can explore the fit of the Californian market to your solutions and products. So what are the possibilities to take specific action towards the possibilities in California? So these are the 3 questions that we will answer during this webinar. But before we go into these questions, I will invite the ambassador of Denmark to the United States, Mr. Jesper Møller Sørensen, to give his opening speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or if you are on this side of the Atlantic, good morning. It is a great honor to welcome you to this webinar on a highly relevant topic, climate smart agriculture. Thank you to Food Nation for hosting this event, and thank you also for inviting me to speak. Securing food supply and sustainable food systems have become a global security concern. Climate change is creating new challenges that government, food producers, and consumers globally must prepare for. This is at the core of why the green transition in the food and agriculture sector is now on top of the agenda in both Denmark and in California. Smarter and more sustainable production methods is needed to ensure an adequate and reliable supply of food. In short, we need to produce more with less. Less water, less energy, less resources. Collaboration, strong partnerships, and knowledge sharing are essential for the food and agriculture sector's transition to a more sustainable practices. New smart solutions applying advanced technology and methods to save resources and methods to save resources throughout the agricultural production, also known as climate smart agriculture, have already seen the light of day. Denmark has many companies providing solutions, extensive research environments, and also a government with a very strong interest in this field. And it seems there is a significant and growing focus within the US sector as well, especially perhaps in California. The US engagement in climate conservation is evident with the Inflation Reduction Act's allocation of nearly $20 billion toward 4 key conservation programs, which solidified a historic investment in addressing the climate crisis and reflected key priorities lifted up by the farmers and by the communities. Denmark is committed to strengthen green partnerships. One of these partnerships is with California. We want to share knowledge, we want to share experiences, and to develop the commercial ties within climate smart agriculture. It is at the core of the Trade Council in North America's work to support Danish stakeholders pursuing activities in the US and support the promotion of Denmark as a hub for solutions within climate smart agriculture abroad. With Ramboll's report on the Californian market and insights to climate smart agriculture in the state, the Trade Council will introduce the Climate Smart Agricultural Platform. With this platform, we continue to strengthen collaboration and build commercial opportunities between Denmark, Danish companies, and stakeholders in California. Last couple of years, this partnership has already included a series of activities. I especially wish to highlight an export delegation of Danish companies in California, accompanied by the Danish Minister for Food, Agriculture and Fisheries, and also a Californian delegation to Denmark with attendance of the Secretary of the California Department of Food and Agriculture, Karen Ross. While the opportunities in California are very significant, the size and the complexity of the market can make the first steps a challenge. With this platform, the Trade Council will support Danish companies to get ready to work in California and provide companies with market insights that can be key to build a successful entry to California. Cooperation is key within climate smart agriculture across the Atlantic. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you a very productive and hopefully insightful webinar. And with this, I will give the word back to Lise.
Thank you very much to the ambassador. And allow me just to reflect that I was actually so lucky to have the opportunity to meet Karen Ross when she visited Denmark with the delegation that the ambassador just mentioned. I think we have an echo on the sound right now, which is very loud. And we're just working on that. But I will just continue because we will follow up on all the good motivations that the ambassador, Mr. Jesper Møller Sørensen, highlighted in his opening speech definitely a lot of opportunity in California, and this is what we will get even closer to during this webinar. So allow me to take you through the possibilities that we have found during our image analysis from Food Nation from 2023. Can you see the slides? I'm just trying to move on. Yeah, here we go. So if you don't know it, this is the image analysis of from Food Nation. We do this image analysis every year, and the fact is that we have last year had United States of America as a part of this image analysis. So we asked decision makers across the value chain from every part of the country. Do they actually know Denmark as an agriculture and food nation? And from what do they know us? And last year we had these countries as a part of the image analysis. So it was more than just the United States. It was also Germany, China, and India. Altogether, we asked 853 decision makers. So it's a B2B analysis. And what we will do today, of course, is to zoom in on the results from the United States. So allow me just to move on, and let's look at the results when we ask how much do these business-to-business decision makers actually know about Danish agriculture, food products, and solutions. And the picture that we can see is that the markets nearby, of course, Germany, quite a lot of the German people do know quite a lot. So only these 18% say that they don't know much about the Danish agriculture and food products. But of course, the number 38, when we look at the United States, shows us that we do have quite a potential to tell our counterparts, our potential collaborators in the US, a lot more about how we can deliver within the agriculture and food sector, both regarding end products and solutions along the value chain. So it's a high number, and it's remarkable that this important country, this important market for Danish companies, still says that 38% do not know much about Danish agriculture, food products, and solutions. So if we move on to the next question, so we ask about attitudes towards the Danish agriculture and food industry, and we ask these business-to-business decision makers to which extent they agree in some statement. And the first statement that we ask the decision makers is Denmark is a leading agriculture and food nation. And again, we can conclude that the market nearest the German, they have the highest knowledge about our country, and they are also most likely to agree on this one. So 51% of the decision makers from the United States say that Denmark is a leading agriculture and food nation. And that is, of course, positive, but still there is a possibility to lift this by also lifting the knowledge about Denmark. And just to add that knowledge, the other statement we highlighted was that products and solutions are good value for money. Here we can see that 50% of the decision makers from the United States actually agree that that the products and solutions from Denmark is good value for money. So the approach, of course, is that if we can lift the knowledge among the American decision makers, we can also lift the positive view on doing business with the companies. And when 50% say it's a good value for money, and still quite a few do not know much about what we can actually deliver, the room for improvement is quite high. We did some other questions to these decision makers. And the next question that we asked was, Danish companies offer products and solutions that support sustainable production across the value chain. So whenever we do our work in Food Nation, we really have the value chain perspective, which means that we have the perspective on everything going on in the fields and in the stables and so on. And what we can see here is that more than 2/3 of the US decision makers, altogether 68%, agree that Danish companies can offer solutions and products across the value chain, which supports the sustainable production. So we are really in a good position here. Another question, which is very a good motivator, is that we ask the decision makers to which extent they agree in Denmark being a strong contributor of products and solutions that uphold a high level of food safety and support resource efficiency. And of course, we are especially making the link between food safety and resource efficiency, because this is where we have a strong position to offer technology, again, with the value chain perspective. And the result is that almost 7 in 10 decision makers from the United States actually believe that Denmark can contribute in a very serious manner to these areas. Lastly, I would like to highlight the fact that the values, the top 5 values that the decision makers in the United States highlight as important when they do business and they try to find the best business partner is, you see these 5 values, these 5 attributes. So it's food safety, it's reliability, it's quality, healthy, and good taste. This is what they look for whenever they are doing business. If we then take a deeper dive and look at how do they rate Denmark, what do they associate with Danish food and agriculture products and solutions, we see that they rate sustainability, organic, reliable, food safety, and being trustworthy as 5 very important attributes. So these are actually the attributes that you could use as unique selling points when you approach the American decision makers. So we really have a good opportunity with the basis of the strongholds of the agriculture and food sector in Denmark. So just to sum up on the question, what image do decision makers in the United States have of Denmark as an agriculture and food nation? Well, they have a really good image of us. They do know us for sustainability, organic production, reliability. But the thing is that their awareness of what we can actually deliver is not on the highest level. So we really have a unique opportunity to improve the awareness on the basis of a really, really good image. So with these words, I'm very pleased that we can now take an even closer look at the decision makers and what's going on in the state of California. So I'm very pleased that we can now zoom in on Mr. Juan Aguiles Ortiz from Ramboll, who will take us in a journey on this brand new report on climate smart agriculture in California. And Juan will try to answer the question on what Danish strength can be leveraged and utilized to meet the demand of climate smart agriculture in California. Juan, I will leave the floor for you.
Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon, all. Once again, my name is Juan Arguelles. I am a lead consultant at Ramboll, based out of Arlington, Virginia office, and a member of the team that worked on the study that we will be talking about today. Thank you to the Danish Trade Council and the Food Nation team for inviting us to participate in this event and giving us the opportunity to present the findings of our study. This presentation, as mentioned, is based on our study titled Climate Smart Agriculture in California Drivers and Barriers of End User Investments. The study aimed to assess the demand for climate smart agriculture solutions, or CSA, within the Californian market. This study builds upon a previous report produced by Ramboll titled Assessments of the Market Potential for Deployment of Biosolutions Within the U.S. Food and Agricultural Sectors. It incorporates findings from Food Nation's image analysis, which was just presented. It provides an understanding of the Californian market for CSA solutions within the agricultural sector, focusing on branding strategies aligned with key market opportunities. The report recommends the Danish strengths that can be leveraged to penetrate and succeed in the California agricultural sector. It also provides an overview of funding structures available to support CSA development in California, along with some regulations that may limit or promote market entry and success. As you all may be aware, climate smart agriculture is a comprehensive category with several types of technologies and areas of application. The report mainly focuses on Danish companies that have been working on solutions concerning automation and robotics, data usage, equipment for crop and produce farming, farm management systems, and biopesticides. California's agricultural sector is a significant contributor to the state's economy and the nation's food supply. The state's agricultural abundance includes more than 400 commodities. In 2022, the total amount of money that farms and ranches in California received for their agricultural products was around 60 billion US dollars, accounting for a 9% increase compared to the previous year. Labor costs have been on the rise in recent years due to a combination of factors, including an increase in the state's minimum wage, the implementation of new overtime rules, and a shortage of workers. This high cost of labor in California highlights the need for innovation and effective labor management. Water availability is another key factor. It has been decreasing due to drought, climate change, and groundwater regulations. Climate change is expected to continue affecting crop production and farming locations. This calls for continuous adaptation and research to ensure the sustainability of California's agricultural sectors. Regulations contribute to higher production costs in California. And lastly, research and development is becoming increasingly important with a growing reliance on private sector R&D. However, the importance of public research and extension cannot be overstated. Despite these trends, the overall demand for California's agricultural product is expected to remain strong. This is due to continued income growth and specific consumer choices. The report is divided into several sections, each of which is focused on answering a key question that is relevant to the understanding of the market potential for Danish CSA solutions in California. Let's dive deeper into the key drivers for the adoption of climate smart agricultural solutions in California. These drivers are fundamental changes that influence the CSA solution market. We discussed these in more detail in the study, but we've limited discussion here to a high-level overview due to time constraints. California, being regarded as the world's fifth largest agricultural sector, faces the dual challenge of a growing population and significant climate change impacts. The state's agricultural output, accounting for 11% of our national total, is under strain from an increase in food and protein demand of a growing population. This surge in demand comes at a time when California's agriculture is also navigating complexities of climate change, including heat, drought, fires, and floods, which threaten the sustainability of farming practices. California's unique climate requirements, such as the need for chill hours for key perennial crops, are being disrupted by warmer winters, affecting crop yields and viability. The state's regulatory environment aims to address the climate crisis by setting ambitious carbon neutrality targets, which the agricultural sector must strive to meet. Greenhouse gases are a significant concern in California. Excuse me. The California Air Resource Board has found that agriculture contributes to 32 million metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, making it the fifth largest contributor to California's GHG emissions. A substantial part of these emissions, around 70%, comes from the methane produced by livestock. Water scarcity is top of mind in California. highlighting an imperative for enhanced management strategies. The management of groundwater and surface water supplies is crucial, especially given the importance of the previously stated perennial crop chill hours and the state's reliance on winter snowpack for irrigation. This is even more critical when prolonged droughts are taken into account and how they have reduced surface water and groundwater availability and increased crop water demands. California also has regulatory environment that encourages CSA adoption. California has been proactive in creating regulations conditions to foster the development of CSA solution adoption. California's regulatory framework is designed to be more accommodating than other regions, such as Europe, which often has stricter requirements. The state has undertaken efforts to modernize the regulation of CSA solutions, streamlining processes to encourage technical development and adoption of climate smart practices. In California, the emphasis on optimization within the agricultural sector is focused on climate smart agriculture solutions. The state is addressing factors such as labor costs and shortages, which are significant in a region known for its labor intensive crops like fruits and vegetables. To combat this, California is investing automation and technology to maintain productivity with fewer workers. Export dependency is another critical aspect considering that California is a major exporter of agricultural goods. The state is working towards diversifying its market and strengthening local supply chains, reducing vulnerabilities to international market volatility. Crop diversification is encouraged to mitigate risk associated with climate change and market demands. This helps mitigate ecological balances and buffers against crop failures due to pests and diseases. Now, we had the opportunity to interview a couple of stakeholders as part of this study. And on the flip side of having regulations that encourage adoption of CSA, exists a complex regulatory environment within which farmers and ranchers in California operate. These environmental regulations are designed to protect the state's diverse ecosystem. While necessary, these regulations can pose significant challenges for agricultural operations. They often require changes in farming practices, investments in new technologies, and compliance with monitoring and reporting requirements. These factors, however, can increase operational costs and add to the pressures already faced by farmers and ranchers. To face these, they are often motivated to increase their adoption of climate smart agricultural solutions. Considering these challenges and pressures, farmers and ranchers in California increasingly turn to innovative solutions to sustain their operations while maintaining regulatory requirements. CSA offers a suite of practices that not only aligns with most environmental regulations, but also enhances operational efficiency and open up new market opportunities. California is a leader in agriculture, as previously discussed, producing a wide range of crops and commodities annually. The state's agriculture also faces many challenges, some of which we discussed in the previous section, including water scarcity and labor shortages. These challenges threaten the productivity and sustainability of the state's farming sector. And to tackle these issues, California farmers have started to adopt more innovative and resilient practices that help them cope with the changing conditions and optimize their resource use. So, as you might be able to see, a lot of the motivators for the sector in California come from the challenges that they're facing. The appeal of CSA solution is that they allow farmers to maximize the resources they have without significant compromise in the quality and quantity of their output. Taking these into consideration, our final recommendations are derived from the research throughout this study and interviews with key market players. Firstly, partnerships with local market players are necessary, but they should also be relevant and aligned with the climate smart solutions that the company is offering. These organizations can help with the regulatory processes, distribution networks in the California market, contacts with innovative partners, and ensure a cultural fit. Secondly, it is important to provide end users with the information that they require to make educated decisions in a way that they can relate to. Although climate change and sustainability, as discussed thoroughly, are top of mind in the California agricultural market, financial metrics and operational efficiencies is the language of end users. that end users will want in order to make educated decisions. Most solutions providers are presenting products that make operations efficient and most of them, according to our stakeholder interviews, provide technically and sustainability focused discussion, whereas what end users are interested in is learning about the impact that the solution will have on them economically and operationally. What support can you, the seller, provide to them during the lifetime of that product, and how will this make their operations easier? It is also important to highlight how the solution will facilitate adherence with a rapidly changing regulatory landscape. Once again, in order to stand out, companies should use rigorous, evidence based methods and tools to support the claimed impacts and benefits of their solutions. Lastly, political cooperation can enhance the market conditions and help in positioning, but it should also involve engaging with the existing CSA programs and policies that the state has developed, which we discuss thoroughly in our paper. California has a suite of CSA programs that provide incentive, technical assistance, research, and outreach to support farmers and ranchers in adopting CSA practices. These programs are funded by the state. Therefore, it is important to understand how these programs and policies work, how they can benefit the climate smart solutions that the companies are offering, and how they can be leveraged to facilitate the adoption and commercialization of these solutions. Thank you. If you have any questions, our details are on the slide, and I'll take any questions now, or I believe we've left some space for Q&A later.
That's right. Thank you very much, Juan,
Of course.
for sharing this brand new material. It's great to get it out live and hear it from you. I just wanted to touch upon the fact that I know that you've been doing this report on the basis of a lot of different meetings, interviews with people in the sector.
Yes.
And we just had a question in the chat.
Okay.
If the report will be available, and it will be available. It will be available by the Trade Council in the United States of America, and you will have it as soon as we can share it. But Juan, I was just curious, from all these interviews, would you maybe just highlight one thing which stands very clear to you, considering the feedback that you get on how Danish companies should use special unique selling points, positioning themselves? What stands out as the most important?
Definitely, there are a couple of things, and they all tie together, and it goes in line with my second recommendation that I discussed, and it's about how we're approaching end users. Like I mentioned, a lot of these solutions want to solve the same problem: sustainability and climate change within the agricultural sector. But what's key here is how we're approaching end users, and what information we're bringing to the table. They're very well aware that, and it is necessary to provide them with some technical information and kind of logistical information surrounding their operations, but it's also even more important, it sounds, that when they're being approached, that the information includes how is this solution going to impact them economically, financially, and how can they expect to recover that. Short term is key. I mean, long term will also help, but I think most of these farmers and ranchers, unless we're talking about larger farming enterprises, are almost living on a day to day financially. So it's important that they're approached with, hey, this is how it's going to solve your current problem and solve your regulatory requirements, but here's also how you can expect to increase your operational efficiency and not have a big burden financially. Or
So
if
really,
there is a
sorry.
big burden financially, here's how this solution is going to help you
Yeah.
recover that.
So a clear focus on the specific results that the
Yes.
products and solutions will contribute with in the actual case. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
And
you
that
so
does,
much for now,
of
Juan.
course.
We will get back to you. But for now, we will move on to the third question. of today, and I'm really pleased that we will have Anna Trillingsgaard with us now, commercial advisor within food and agriculture from the Embassy of Denmark in Washington. And Anna will try to answer the question on how can you explore the fit of the Californian market to your solutions and products. So Anna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I am just in the process of presenting my screen. Let's do it like this. And all right, here we go. Thank you, Lisa, a lot for the introduction, and thank you to both the ambassador and to Juan from Ramboll. I think we've had so far a really interesting conversation on different perspectives on how to approach the market in California and how to work with climate smart agriculture, and not least also some of the perceptions of Danish solutions so far. So where do we begin to translate all of this knowledge into actions for you as a Danish company? We as a Trade Council are here today to present the Climate Smart Ag platform, which is a platform that aims to position Danish climate smart ag solutions in California. As we have heard from Ramboll today, the sector is fast moving, but also super complex. I can echo that as well from my experiences. Working and doing business in the US requires...
Anna, could you put it in presentation mode? So sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so sorry.
You can't see it in presentation mode now?
No.
Now?
No. But it's fine. I mean, if you could just make the left side of your screen as small as possible, it will be fine.
Let me just, sorry for that.
Don't worry.
Maybe this will help.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much,
Wonderful. Yeah, so as I was saying, working and doing business in the US requires a lot of prioritizations and considerations going in. Overall, it's not an easy market, and each state looks different in terms of climate, culture, and regulations. And therefore, it can be very helpful to look at each state as an individual market, which is also why we're looking at California specifically for this initiative. As the ambassador mentioned, we have collaborated with our counterparts in California for the last number of years. So we can conclude that there is huge interest in Danish technology and solutions. So I think we should figure out a way to utilize this potential. This is why we're launching this platform today. And I'll just dive into the business of what we're going to go through in my presentation here. I'll briefly go over some of the perspectives that make California relevant and draw some dots to why we're establishing this platform. We've already talked a lot about California and like why this is an interesting market, so I will touch upon that pretty briefly. I'll try to circle around why the platform as a concept is a relevant place for you as a company to build your presence here. I'll talk about some of the activities that we're aiming to do, and finally, a little bit about the practicalities. All right, so why engage in California? We've talked about this a lot today. It's a huge market, a big food chamber in the US. Ramboll and Juan summed up the key cost factors very nicely in his presentation. And also that these are important factors when you as a company are strategizing how to enter the market here and how you can enhance your sales arguments on how you mitigate some of these challenges. We can see the market developments call for increasing use of more efficient production methods within technology, water utilization, farm management, automation, nature-based fertilizers, among others. So there is a lot to tap into here. But how do we do that? One of the points in Ramboll was also that partnerships and cooperation is key. Presence in California takes time. Rome was not built in one day. Working with US and California takes a lot of footwork, and building trust, partnerships, proof of concept. All of these things to get just a grasp of the market is not done overnight. And here's exactly where the Trade Council wants to help you. Taking in Ramboll's recommendations that we've just summed up and work with them. So whether you are a company who has short or long-term interest in the market, or if you've just started dipping your toes here, this platform can offer some relevant activities on how to work with your business plan in California. We have an established network. As I mentioned, we've collaborated with California for a while. And we will, of course, through this platform, continue to develop our network out there together with you. We wish to start the platform so you can start your export journey. The platform serves to support key components of your company's development of business in California. So we've heard that aiming your sales arguments toward the end users are important. For that, we've already started this today, but we will supply you with market knowledge to support how you develop your company's business plan. The second key component of this platform is to create opportunities for Danish companies to meet the local stakeholders. This way you can enhance your engagement and start building your own local partnerships in California. And as I mentioned, we have already partnered with the California Department of Food and Agriculture, who are supportive of this initiative that we are doing, and who will help you get into contact with relevant stakeholders. All right, so here we have an overview. And just to briefly explain, this platform is built around two key deliverables. We have giving you market knowledge, and second, exposing your solutions towards end users and potential business partners in California. This is done through a series of webinars where you will gain further market insights and market knowledge. It will focus on key components on what you need to know about doing business in California. One of the interesting things that Ramboll has just mentioned was being aware and knowing how to navigate the regulatory framework and the support investment schemes out there. That will be one of the key elements that we're focusing on in these webinar knowledge sharing sessions. The second leg of this platform is focused on delegations. Seeing is believing, and we know from a lot of previous delegations that bringing American stakeholders to Denmark to see these solutions in action and give them just a grasp of the entire value chain is really helpful in both establishing the first partnerships, but also building longer term contacts over here. So that is an element that we will conduct, and then we will also focus on a study trip to California for the platform companies. What's important to say is that this platform is built around not too much travel for you. It is focusing on elements that you can follow online, and then you'll have the opportunity to meet stakeholders in Denmark. And then there will be this trip to California where you will be able to meet both farmers and potential business partners by the end of the year. So that will sort of be the conclusion of this. So to sum up some of the arguments on why you should join. So this platform will offer an exclusive series of events. Both a TC, Trade Council advisor, will be onboarded to your company. We will talk about what you have done so far, your export experiences, and what your ambitions for participating in the platform are. One point I'd like to make is that the platform can be seen as both an entry if you're dipping your toes into the California market. If you have a business strategy in your company that's saying this is a key market within a shorter period of time, we can speed up some of the platform activities and do potential add-ons at company level. So some elements that will be one-on-one with your company But the core deliveries of the platform will be the market briefings. We will do possibly 2 thematic conversations where we will, depending on the group of companies in the platform, we will have a conversation with you on how to scope different conversations with local stakeholders that could be relevant. And then we have the participation in delegations to California and to Denmark. And then, as mentioned, we have the potential to do add-ons. We have a Scope Your Business Model project within Trade Council, where we will spend time together with you, evaluating your business model, looking into some of these elements that will be super important when you're talking to potential customers in the market. The other option is to do a more tailored case, focusing specifically on some of your prioritizations within the business strategy development in California. All right, I will talk a little bit about the engagement, because nothing in this world is free. And we are super excited about launching this platform. I think what we've seen today, the conversations we've heard from Lisa and from Juan, has been echoing that there is a huge potential out here. But to do this platform, we need your commitment to see it through, to conduct all of these exciting events. So there will be a partner engagement fee that covers our preparation, the Trade Council's preparation of the activities. The fee will be 17,920 Danish kroner, where SME partners can benefit from a 50% discount that is possible to apply for. In addition, there will be some costs tied to the study trip to California, and potentially also bringing a delegation to Denmark, depending on the type of funding that we'll be able to apply for. But what's also important to say that we will look actively to apply for relevant funding to support the different activities that we are doing throughout this year. In addition, I mentioned the Scope Your Business Model project, which is 30 TC hours that we can spend if you have a wish to dig further into some one-on-one time with us and discuss how to fit your business model to the California market. This is also an option where SMEs can get a 75% discount if that is of interest. I think that is what I'm going to say about the engagement. So I think final notes from me will be that I believe that this platform could offer a really, really interesting place to either start or continue doing your business here. I believe this is a highly competitive offer that can provide value for your company, no matter the stage of your California export journey. There is the option to just follow the core activities in the platform, where you'll gain a lot of insights. And there's also the options to build and extend this platform project with further collaboration with us. Yes, so I am available for follow-up meetings and further, if you want to talk over further details, want some one-on-one time where we can talk about your specific ambitions for the California market, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am very available. And I look so much forward to launch this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. So the possibility has been kicked off now. That's great. So we have solid knowledge about the possibilities in the States, specifically zooming in on California and the primary sector, and the possibilities within the climate smart agriculture, and also more or less a really go-to guide on how to move ahead with the Trade Council in the United States. So I would like to invite both Anna and Juan back on the screen, and we are more than welcome. We are more than curious to take questions, and we already have one So the question is, can Food Nation help with connections to lawyers for commercial agreements, etc.? And my answer to that would be, I would direct the question to Anna. So
Yes.
Anna, if business are going into the market in the US, how would you be able to support with commercial agreements, the lawyers and everything in that
Yes.
direction?
Thank you for that question. So we are organized this way where we both have sector-focused teams, such as I within the food and agriculture sector, but we're also so lucky to have some very experienced colleagues in our market entry team. I would happy to make sure that there will be established a connection. They are experienced in establishing corporations in the US, lawyers, accounting services, et cetera, all the practicalities that you need to be aware of when setting up your business here.
And that is, of course, a general and very important question. Also looking into the fact that both Juan and you, Anna, pointed to the fact that collaboration is a key to get started. And Juan, I might like to go back to your, you had 3 parts in your presentation of how to approach the California market. And one of the approaches was the partnerships with different kind of stakeholders, not only the hardcore business to business stakeholders. Maybe you could just elaborate a little bit on what other type of important stakeholders could be or should be approached in order to reach the possibilities.
Definitely. Apart from the ones that you just mentioned, California and the agricultural sector in the United States also has a number of interested stakeholders that take the form of nonprofits, NGOs, and other types of supporting businesses that are keen in partnering with companies and just individuals interested in advancing CSA adoption in the US. Some of those are referenced in our report. Even Trade Council themselves are one of those institutes or stakeholders that would facilitate the introduction of an international company into the US markets, particularly California in this case.
Thank you so much, Juan. And I just wanted to give the floor to you, Anna, because I know that you've been working on this for so many years, and also from a government to government level. Maybe you could just elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, so firstly, just spinning off what Juan is saying, with establishing and connecting to local stakeholders, partnering up with organizations, it's also one of the things, the key elements that we wish to do with this platform. We know it can be a lot as a single company to handle this network building on your own, so use us as the platform to gain that access. And also the report will be published by us. I will make sure to publish a link when it's available. In addition, we have had a government-to-government collaboration with California. It's called a Memorandum of Understanding. It focuses on sustainable dairy production, but covers now in our collaboration a lot more. Both California and ourselves have been interested in expanding our work together, so the platform on government level is there, so to speak.
Thank you for highlighting this, Anna, and it's just great that the curiosity also from the stakeholders in California is actually growing to other sectors where we have strong positions in Denmark. So if we do not have any more questions in the chat right now, I'm about to round off this webinar this Thursday, and I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for participating, to Juan Ageles Ortiz from Ramboll, to Anna Trillingsgaard from the Trade Council in the US, and I will encourage all of you to reach out to take any possible next steps in this journey towards meeting the really good potential in the US and especially in California. Maybe you would like to take a look in the Food Nation Toolbox, where you can find the full image analysis and also other materials which you can use as inspiration in your export journey. And with these words, I will just encourage you to follow the work on the social media channels, and hopefully you will stay updated this way. But for now, I would say thank you very much for listening. I will wish you a good day in the United States and a good afternoon and evening here in Denmark. Thank you very much for being with us today.